React Shield, Breaking Spider-Man 4 announcement coming. Take a look and see what everything has to say about this, about Spider-Man 4, Breaking Spider-Man 4 announcement coming. Let's see what he has to say about it and check it out.
What's going on, guys? Welcome to Everything Always. My name's Michael Roman, aka Allfires. As we inch closer to the end of 2022, it may feel like all the official announcements, especially for Marvel movies and coming from Marvel Studios, are behind us. For any more of those, we'll have to wait until next summer's SDCC or even next fall's D23. But not so fast, as there is one more Comic-Con left. One huge international Comic-Con at the beginning of December, and now Sony has officially weighed in, confirmed they'll be there, and teased many surprises. We're talking about exactly where and when this is, what we can expect, and why. Given some of the news from industry insiders, I think there's a likely possibility we're going to hear something about some new Spider-Man films as well. We're breaking it down, all the brand new slate announcements and reveals coming up from Sony at the next Comic-Con announcement this year. But first, if you could grab the subscribe button, we do daily Marvel content at the channel, and that's all we do. Everything from official Easter egg breakdowns, trailers, and reviews to the occasional industry insider report and everything in between. So if that sort of thing's for you, hit the sub button, leave a comment down below. That will automatically enter you to win our ongoing PS5 giveaway. If you want, stick around to the end of the video. We'll get into all the giveaway stuff again there. Okay, so the Comic-Con we're talking about is Brazil's CCXP 2022, which will take place on the weekend of December 1st through December 4th. That's a Thursday through Sunday. Now, if you haven't heard of CCXP before, there are tons of Comic-Cons internationally that don't get the same sort of traction, say San Diego Comic-Con does, because it's the biggest. But it is definitely a big enough Comic-Con down in Brazil to warrant Kevin Feige, Marvel Studios, having been there just 2 years ago with exclusive clips and an onstage presentation. So definitely the kind of Comic-Con that has these huge reveals. And now Sony has confirmed that not only will Sony Pictures be there at CCXP 2022, but they also went and added the disclaimer, hold the emotion if possible and get ready for many surprises. Now, if you've watched my channel for a while, you know I love to remind you guys that Sony's picture house is much smaller compared to a lot of Hollywood studios and much smaller than Marvel. Spider-Man is not only one of their most lucrative IPs, it's their most lucrative IP by far. So, well, yes, Sony Pictures is not just the Spider-Man IP, it sort of is. It makes up a majority of it, and remember, this is CCXP, this is a Comic-Con down in Brazil. So while they could focus on other movies, the most likely chances they're going to focus on the new Spider-Man films and the Spider-Man Rogues Gallery, and because of how much news there has been regarding Sony and that Spider-Verse in the last 2 weeks, we have a really good inkling what they're going to announce. First and foremost, I think it's a sure shot you can assume they will announce Venom 3, as Deadline just broke literally in the last week that Kelly Marcel is set to direct the next installment after producing and writing the first 2 films. And the only other detail we know is that obviously Tom Hardy will be back to conclude the trilogy. Real recently on social media, he shared a picture of the script with the caption Last Dance. But regardless of the breaking news and in the last week regarding this film, the first 2 Venom films combined for an international box office of over $1 billion, 1.36 to be exact. And what you can argue that's based on the recognizability and the already popularity in the Marvel community for a character like Venom, it's the one film without Spider-Man actually in the title, or in the film for that matter, that's been their one home run and internationally. So at an international Comic-Con, expect this to take front and center at their onstage presentation, maybe even an onstage cameo from Tom Hardy, Venom himself. Now, while we're sticking to the most likely incidents and scenarios for what's going to be revealed, they've been working on Kraven the Hunter and Madam Web for that matter for quite some time. So I also expect there to be some reveals, announcements regarding Kraven the Hunter, and even the first exclusive clip or trailer to be shown at that Comic-Con. And unlike Marvel Studios, I do not think this will be an exclusive. I think it'll be dropped there online very quickly after. And with a month left between here and there, there's going to be some confirmations from industry insiders. If they tee up the Kraven trailer and or a Madam Web teaser, we're going to know about it and we'll give you the updates as they come. But just reading the tea leaves as far as what Sony has in the pipeline, Venom 3, Kraven, and Madam Web are the next 3 properties, again, without Spider-Man in the title, that they're probably going to choose to focus on here at this onstage presentation. But as far as films with Spider-Man in the title, well, the elephant in the room, or should I say the spider in the room, was a lack of a Spider-Man 4 announcement at either D23 or San Diego Comic-Con. But I've reminded you guys several times, there's never been the inclusion of a Sony property or a Spider-Man film announcement at either of those focus on Marvel properties. Sony has always reserved all of the Spider-Man announcements for their own marketing campaign and in their own way. So obviously Spider-Man 4 heavily anticipated, but already confirmed from Kevin Feige and Amy Pascal. This has been reported pretty ubiquitously over the last couple of days because of the update that Sony, Marvel, and Disney may be approaching the next deal and finishing it before they move on to the contracting. They already confirmed Tom Holland will be back. They are doing Spider-Man 4, and if the industry insiders like Mikey Sutton are correct, we should expect another Tom Holland trilogy. It doesn't mean, though, that they're close enough to any of that to go ahead and announce a Spider-Man 4, and while I think that many surprises sort of hype us up for that, real recently Aaron Taylor Johnson, who's playing Kraven in the Kraven film, said that it would be the Kraven film that we all wanted it to be, and as I remarked in the video breaking that news, I hope he knows that he's teasing Spider-Man to us, because it's the only Kraven film that I would want it to be. Now, there are two other Spider-Man films that fans have talked about, that have been rumored about. One of them would be the Amazing Spider-Man 3 to bring Andrew Garfield back, and the other would be the heavily rumored Spider-Geddon that's supposed to be Sony's answer to Avengers Endgame, bringing all the Spider-Men together, and really the kickoff starts in Madam Web, trying to bring them across the Spider-Verse for a live-action version of what works so well in the animated films. But let us not forget that, as was also reported pretty ubiquitously here recently, Kevin Feige gave Sony Studios the advice not to follow their blueprint or their roadmap, not to worry about an interconnected universe, just focus on each film being as good as it can be. Unfortunately for Sony, though, that doesn't appear to be an option, as what appears to be the case is that they've predicated this Spider-Geddon or whatever eventual crossover is on building out the Sinister Six, one solo movie at a time. Much in the way that Marvel Studios introduced each of the original 6 Avengers, they're going to go ahead and do films for all of these Sinister Six characters and then face them off in that Spider-Geddon. Bringing back Andrew Garfield, as I've said many times, to me would be an absolute home run, but it's hard to forget that Andrew Garfield is almost 40 years old and might not want to come back for 1 or 2 Spider-Man films. And while there have been rumors remaining that he would come back for Secret Wars, and so would Tobey Maguire, but really you have to think about this logically. He is almost 40 years old, and if he is planning on doing 1 or 2 more Marvel cameos down the road for something like a Secret Wars, and then would carry his own Amazing Spider-Man film with the year of filming plus the time it takes to get ready, then you had the press junket on the back of that, we're talking about another 3 or 4 year commitment for him to suit back up, and he might just not want to do that at his age. That might not be in the plans. Plus, it also looks like Marvel Studios and Sony are eventually finding their way to a live-action Miles Morales. So, Spider-Geddon announcement, something like a Amazing Spider-Man 3. Yeah, one can hope. I sound like a Disney presentation right now. If you hope upon a star, but Spider-Man announcement in general, I think that serves up the many surprises. Something like announcing Spider-Man 4, a title, but I do not expect them to announce an Amazing Spider-Man 3 and or a Spider-Geddon just yet. Yes, the Spider-Geddon has been reported on by industry insiders in some Hollywood trades, but no confirmation of that. If Sony wants to come out and do a major slate reveal, show us what they're all leading to with this introduction of Madam Web, well, that would definitely suit the bill of many surprises. And just don't give Sony that credit for teeing something like that up. But as is always the case, and as I've mentioned here in this video, Hollywood trades are going to get a hold of some of the stuff, especially the trailer drops. We'll know about the trailer drops if they're coming. We'll report on them here at the channel, and we'll of course have the full coverage for you guys. CCXP again is live in Brazil, and while sometimes it does stream, I don't assume that it'll stream these presentation panels the same way San Diego Comic-Con doesn't, but there will be updating live and throughout the day. We'll be covering them here at the channel, keeping you up to date with all the announcements incoming from Sony. But guys, let me know all your thoughts down below. How much hype do you have for either Venom 3, Kraven, or Madam Web? And what do you expect to come from the future of the Spider slate? Who's the next villain who's going to get his solo film? I am all ears. Quickly, let's get into the giveaway stuff before I let you go. We are still giving away a PlayStation 5. The next milestone is 1 million subscribers, which we are headlong into and should hit by month's end or next. If you want to be entered to win, and all you have to do, hit the subscribe button, leave a comment down below, because it's truly random. The more videos you comment on, the better chance you have of winning. All winners will be announced at the end of videos, the same way we're doing here. The best way to keep up with the content has always been to hit the notification bell with all notifications turned on. And as always, if you like today's video, I'd appreciate it if you'd hit the like button. My name's Michael Roman. You can find me in a couple of places, Instagram and Twitter at IamFires. You can also find me on Spotify, YouTube, Amazon, Apple, iTunes, under the name AllFires. And while I sincerely appreciate you checking this channel out, stick around. We'll be posting again real soon.
Yeah, please subscribe, like this video, and see you guys. Bye.